Welcome back to the show. Now we're getting into the second half of this interview, and I wanted to get into. We mentioned even before the podcast, like the road life. You know, you being on the road a lot. What is that like being on the road so much for different gigs? Because sometimes you have great experiences. Other times you're like, yo, this is killing me. Like I'm just like constantly luggage, all this stuff.
Uh,
What's that like?
Man, everything has its ups and downs. Sometimes it can be really like I don't know, a sense of adventure to it. I mean,
Hmm.
sometimes honestly, the most complicated parts are sometimes just the fly dates. Like flying in and out. I was explaining to you before we got started the day that I had on travel coming back from a gig. Two what was it? Yeah, three. No, two rescheduled flights, and then a canceled one, and then getting sent
Hmm.
to the wrong airport.
Dang.
A lot of stuff can happen, but really, being on the road, it's fun, and especially when you're with great people. Um, you know, I've been in situations where you do a fly date, you've never met anybody, but then through musicianship and quality of music, man, everybody becomes friends for life. But
Yeah.
being on the road, on a bus or a sprinter or whatever it may be, um, man, that you can make some moments. There's a lot of brotherhood. And you kind of have to live it like that.
Yeah. To be like kind of like tightly bonded like that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I'm gonna get annoyed at you in the morning because a little bit. If somebody's talking too much in the morning, I'm like, bro, stop.
That's
Like,
what I hate.
like,
I'm not even gonna lie. Like people
yeah,
like I I worked at a job where I had to like back in college where I had to like be there at 6:45 in the morning, and there were some people like as soon as we clock in, they are talking there like talking my ears off. I'm like, yo, how do you have enough energy to talk this early in the morning? Like I'm just trying to get my mind like just going and just like the blood like I'm just trying to like just get in the
yeah.
groove, and you're just like already talking up a storm. Like how do you have that energy? Like I don't get it.
Dude, I mean that's well, and with when you do it with a certain group, it's like some of the artists I play with, there's like a group of people, and they get to know you, and they they know that okay, yeah, he's not a morning person. Like, I have my moments, I'm cool, get up and
You're more of a night owl?
I, dude, the weirdest thing is it just changes sometimes. Sometimes I
Yeah,
mean
it's
like I mean, if you would have asked me that 2 years ago or a year ago, yeah. Like I mean,
yeah.
I do like being up late. But a thing that I've incorporated in my life in the past year or so is running. Working out and stuff, of
Same.
course. But
Yeah, I started doing that working out more.
yeah, but a lot of running. So like, dude, I'll wake up at. I mean, when I'm home, I got groups that I run with. We'll wake up at 5:30. Hit a
Yeah.
run, and but even on the road, I'll do that. But my point with that is, that yeah, it's just changed. So it's like there's just sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm exhausted. I just don't want to talk. But you with the right people, they know that about you. They're like, all right,
Yeah. They have that sense.
I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, just give me a minute, man. Just give me a minute.
And I love that. I love the people who like that's when I know you're real. Like the people that just tell, okay, like Wellington, he's just not in the mood right now, but I'm gonna give him space. But the people that just like knock, 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 like what do you, I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, like shit, like it's not the
dude.
time.
Man, I remember this one time where like one of the artists I play for, Hans Williams, he Elliot, man, the bass player. I love him to death. He's one of my closest friends, and it was it was early in the morning, and he hadn't had his coffee yet, man. I remember he gave me this you know this death look, this death stare because I said something, and then I knew exactly what that was, so I just looked at him. And I started laughing, and then he started laughing because we both knew, like, bro, this is so ridiculous that, I know how tired you are, as am I,
Yeah.
but, we could just see through the facade, so
Especially like that.
yeah.
That when you that hotel breakfast in the morning, you're like, just let me get my hotel breakfast, and then I'll be good. Like, that,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
but what was I gonna ask? I was talking about. I'd seen some music movies recently. First time I'd seen What's Love Got to Do with It with Tina Turner, and I just want to say this: like how like when an artist leaves something that like they're a part of and they're successful, then they actually go into like what they want to do. To me, like that's the most fascinating thing because it's like we've had many artists that have left something and then they like go solo and they're like, oh, this is what they actually wanted to do. It's like there's always that one artist when they
Yeah,
leave, and it's not saying not putting down the group because they had their moment, but you can always tell, okay, that's the one, like that's the star. You know what I mean? Like what do you think about that? Like when artists do that, like even like legendary artists that have done that.
man. That's musicians have done that in
Yeah,
groups.
musicians too. Yeah,
I mean, like I don't know. I think that goes across the board. I mean, your Justin Timberlake's. I mean, even Johnny Gill, like we were talking about.
yeah,
Like he went on to do his own thing. You know, Paul McCartney. George Harrison.
it
Like
goes on. Yeah, and Michael
yeah.
Jackson
You know, Leon Silvers. Like leaving the Silvers, and then just some of these guys turn into producers, and then they
yeah.
like that's their calling. Like they're able
Look,
to.
Ice Cube NWA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
mean, there you
even
go.
there,
Yeah,
like
I mean, bro, Method Man, all of them, Rizzo or whoever it may be. But like, I mean, dude, yeah, it's funny. I was just listening to Ghostface Killah's record while I was in the gym. I was like, God, dog, man, this guy does not miss a beat,
he
bro.
does not miss. It's insane. Insane.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think if you have a desire to find your voice and you commit to the life of being a creative,
Mhm.
um, that's kind of your due justice. That's like what you need to be doing.
Yeah,
Is like, man, I put a lot of time into this creatively, and that creative muscle is a very unique one. So
it is.
if you put time into it, show it love, and don't. That's where people fade. That's where people, I think,
Mhm.
um, you know,
Get lost.
get
Just
lost
lost in the
and
fray. Get lost in the fray.
yeah, and fall out of love because they're not giving themselves, um, you know, any room to grow, or like,
Hmm.
to even find what their voice is. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like musicians, like, a lot of my friends tour, and I'm so lucky and fortunate to know so many great musicians. Um, but like my good buddy Kevin Scott, he's a bass player, exceptional musician and human being, but the butt comes from just he has his thing and he does his thing, but when you come off the road, like
Yeah.
there's still other parts of you that need to be fed. Him and I talk about this a lot. Um, so like to any musician, it's like there is a level of, I don't know how else to say this really, but do your job, show up, be there. If you're
Hmm.
playing with an artist, you have to commit and you know, respect their music and be a part. And you still don't have to lose that voice. So when you come home, like I can come home and do my, I can go do indie folk or to go do R&B or whatever, and
Yeah.
then come home and do my avant-garde weird
Oh yeah. Yeah.
stuff as a
It's stuff. Yeah.
trio. Yeah,
Yeah.
at a random club.
and,
Um,
and and that's what I was gonna say that because like we had even mentioned it because I've told my listeners too about me dropping my first mixtape this summer and it's so interesting because it's like I've picked all the beats, like every beat that on it I was like, yo, this is the type of beat I want, this is the type of beat I want. And one of the ones that I picked, it was a Jay Dilla type of beat and I was like, oh, I got because it just like it felt like it's not going to be the most popular song, but to me in my heart I was like, yo, this is like the roots of like what I
yeah,
love. You know what I mean? It was like
100%.
this is the roots of like what I didn't pick a whole album of that because I know like you gotta you gotta have up tempo, you gotta have slow. But I was like, cause it's a good mix. But I was like, yo, that one I gotta have. I was like, that one I gotta
100%.
have.
Yeah, bro. You gotta allow yourself. I mean, and know your strengths. Like
Yeah,
I'm not. Um, I mean, if somebody asked me to be in a metal band, I'd be like, man, I'd love to give it a shot, but like,
this isn't my
I'm
idea.
I'm not, I haven't studied it that much, or I haven't
Yes.
like as far as hands on, or like that's never been my
Don't
forte.
don't
So
get out of your wheelhouse. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
live in your measure, like what you're not necessarily only capable of, but
Hmm.
I think it starts with what am I good at, and what do I yeah, what am I good at? What do I feel in my heart? What am I passionate about? And then
Yeah.
from there, I think
What you
is
naturally
what
function.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then you grow out naturally, and it's more of like you've built an organic garden rather than just put down a bunch of Miracle Grow, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I think that's the difference there.
For sure. Getting into our last question, like, is there a specific aspect of being a guitarist and just, I mean, obviously being around music, because I mean, for years you loved music and still
Mm,
love it. Like, is there a specific aspect of being a guitarist and the music life that you are a part of that you kind of like love the most, or is there a certain element of it? Yeah, man, like this is what makes me love music and what I do.
mm. It's a good question. Yeah, man, my favorite thing about playing the guitar, um, man, I love playing rhythm guitar. I love being so in intertwined with the composition,
Yeah.
whether it is a song that's been written, as a group, or I played on, or just I'm playing a part,
Mhm.
or improvisational moment. I love those moments where um, it's not about shredding or playing a quick solo. It's just those moments where I feel like I'm adding to, like when I can make my guitar, not even make, when it just, I give it room to fill the space,
Yeah.
and not think about the moment. That's when the moment becomes itself,
Actually, yeah,
so,
actually becomes the moment.
yeah, it's like, if you thought, if you're thinking about it, then you've already done too much. So those moments where I just can, could be a single note pattern, it could be a chord that I'm, or a pattern, it doesn't matter. Just those moments with the guitar that really have brought me so much happiness is when I can play
Yeah.
rhythm, and again, that could be a chord, that can be a single note. It's just,
Mhm.
I feel like I'm pouring out into the song, and
Yeah.
helping everybody. I mean, there's a beauty when, I smile, I'll laugh because I'm playing something. It might be something I came up with, for example, in a moment,
Mhm.
and it's like you're not searching for approval, but when you have a friend on stage, because making music with your friends is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
know what
dream.
else to
That's the
say.
dream. That's the dream, man. That's the
Yeah,
dream.
so they look at you, and in a sense of like, man, like it's almost like a thank you. It's like, dude, thank you for adding this in here. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, you made the recipe even better, and
Mhm.
it was just because. But that's the thing, is what I did was based off of what they were playing.
Yeah,
So whenever I'm in a reciprocative moment, and part of music and being able to give back, it's that ebb and flow of give and receive, for sure.
for sure. Yo, I had I had an extra question for you because you do have Italian roots, right? You do have Italian roots, right?
I do, yes.
So I told my aunt, shout out to my aunt Violet, she's watching this. Hi, Aunt Violet. I hope you're you know. She said, "Hey, tell him come state a la." Does that mean how are you? Does that mean how are you? Come state a la. I probably butchered that. I probably butchered
Yeah, from
that.
what I remember, I mean, so here's the thing: is like I was raised, or I'm Sicilian, so
Okay, okay.
the language is a little bit different. It's so funny. Like, we were on tour in Montreal, and we were in Little Italy, and which I didn't know they had one in Montreal. So like we were walking around, I was like, oh wow. So this guy's talking to me. We went to this coffee shop, and I mean, God bless him, it was just not good coffee, unfortunately. But the whole building inside was just lined with soccer pictures, and Ferrari memorabilia, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this is sick. So, anyways, I was in there with my buddy Elliot that I mentioned earlier, and man, the owner was talking to me, this old dude, this old guy, and he started talking to me, and he took me on this little adventure. I told him, Sicilian. Anyways, 10, 15 minutes go by. Long story short, we finally leave, and Elliot's like, "Could you understand?" He's like, "Can you speak Italian?" I'm like, honestly, he's like, I can only really understand it. When it comes back to like saying it,
It's
it's
actually
like,
saying it.
it's just
Nah.
like, yeah, it's like there's little bits and pieces of it,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's funny
Last
about
thing
that.
though, yeah. Last thing though, the Clips announced that they're dropping their new album, July 11th. Let God Sort Them Out, 13 tracks. I'm not gonna lie, man. The trailer looks really good. The single that they're dropping tonight, I heard a little bit of it. Looks good. It sounds good. what feature? Because people are saying they want a Jay Z or a Kendrick feature. Which feature would you want on a Clips album? Jay, if you had to pick between Jay Z or Kendrick, which
I mean,
feature?
I really go Kendrick.
You go Kendrick.
I mean, like,
At this point, it's like Jay's like, what's he really gonna like talk about? Like, you know what
what
I
are
mean?
you gonna talk about, Jay
You know what I
Z?
mean? Because Kendrick,
You
I
know,
feel like Kendrick just had like the biggest year of his career. Like, it's like it's relevant. You know?
yeah. I mean, Kendrick is he's man. He's been he's. I feel like he's always had time, made time, and sat in the room of study, or sharpening his
He's a
tools. Jay
studier.
Z,
He's a
I
sharp.
mean,
He's a craftsman.
he's doing. I feel like Kendrick's in the back in the tool shed working, and Jay Z's on the yacht. I don't know what
He's like,
he's
oh, you need
doing.
university.
He's like
Like, I'm
universe.
like, oh, wait,
I
I
mean,
don't know what to rap about. Like,
how do you even like? I feel like at a
you know,
certain point,
can you be honest? Can we be honest? So there's, and Jay Z is like one of my favorite rappers ever. But at a certain point of success, you get to like, what can you say that like we don't get mad about because your life is just so affluent? It's like there's nothing you can say to us that we're gonna like. At least Kendrick, he's still hungry. That's the thing. Kendrick is still hungry, and he's
well,
still
he's an
developing himself.
artist.
Yeah,
He's an artist. I think he's in a place where I don't know, man. I would hope it wouldn't be something that would go to his head where he's like, um, like, oh, I'm solidified in the list of greats or whatever, because he is. But
yeah.
I feel like my question would be if I wanted to get Jay Z on a verse. I mean, I don't even think he probably takes real money. You know what I'm saying? Like he's already
That's
got so much money. It's like, how do you
it's
even?
like,
Is it
how
like a
do I
series
pay?
of like, how? Hey, what? How do I get Jay Z on my track? Is it like, what do I give you? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
Yeah,
you need a gold horse. Got
yeah.
you.
He's not coming to the studio in New York. Like,
He's
he's
like, hey
phoning
man,
in.
right? He's like, oh, by the way, I need a rock from Mars. It's like, all right, bro. Like we ain't got to do all
You
that.
know what I mean? And like that's the dream. That's where you want to get to. But it's just like for us people that want to just hear relatable music, he's not. He can't give that to us anymore. He just can't do it. You know what I
Dude,
mean? It's no longer the Blueprint and the Black Album, American Gangster. Now that's when Jay Z was Jay Z. But those days are gone. You know, those days are over.
I would. I feel like the only. What's the most recent thing he's done?
444.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
I
back in
mean,
20. That was back in
probably,
2017.
but probably doing verses with Jay Electronica though.
Oh yeah. Now that was tough. That was tough.
It was tough, but I mean, then I'm like,
But it almost was like it's kind of a weird mix. It's kind of
it
a
is a
weird,
weird
you know what I
mix
mean? It's
because
not.
I'm
I don't naturally think of those two. Like if I had to pick a collab album with Jay, it's like Kanye made way more sense. Like Kanye just way more. It's like of course, like Kanye that makes way more sense. You know,
yeah.
but Jay Electronica was like,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
it does make sense in a way between him and Jay, but I mean, like, then when I listen to Jay Electronica, I'm like, bro, what you spoke about on Exhibit A and Exhibit C, he hasn't gotten close. I mean, bro, in my opinion, man,
Yeah,
maybe it's just
I
because I
feel that
put
too.
so much time listening to those two songs, like,
Yeah, I feel that.
because I back in the day, I was on a Zune and LimeWire. I was just like putting everything on here and just like whatever I could get my hands on.
Yeah,
And
man.
I was just like listening to those two over and over. But nonetheless, I haven't really heard anything Jay Z has done in recent times. Where I'm like, whoa, this is killing right now.
Because I mean, it's like he had his run. It's like he even said like I was listening to Blueprint 3 today, and he talked about like A Star Is Born with J Cole, and he's like he said I passed the torch off to Drake. We're gonna see what he's gonna do with it. And it's like I mean, for
Aiden.
15 years, Drake's been the guy. For 15 years, he's been like in terms of like dominance, like he's been the guy. Now I know in terms of quality albums, there's been a decrease because it's not no longer the same. But you know, I'm hoping that Drake's next album will be like because it's rumored he's dropping a new album called Iceman this summer. I'm hoping like after the beef, like he's finally my hope, and it may not happen that he just gives us like that majority rap album again. Like if you're reading this, it's too late because I'm like his back is kind of against the wall. Like Kendrick destroyed him. It's like this is the album, the solo album people want to hear. Like what are you gonna follow? How are you gonna get back? I mean, he doesn't have to get back, but I mean like get back to that just talk your talk instead of just like
Yeah,
give us songs that are just fluff. You know what I mean?
he's gonna have to do a record with Ninth Wonder.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, just get
You know,
back. We know you can rap your butt off. Just get back to that. Just get like when
I
you do that,
just show me, yeah, bro. Bring that back, and
because
then maybe we could
just
talk.
that hung. That's what I'm saying. Because it's like the last few albums have been like, yo, I'm rich. I can get any girl I want. It's like it's all things we know. He's kind of getting close to that Jay-Z spot where it's like, yo, it's unrelated. It's not relatable. Like just like, and I feel like Drake makes his best music when his back is against the wall. Like that's every time he's doubted. Like Meek Mill,
Yeah,
every time he's doubted, like he comes back with something crazy. So, you
and
know,
yeah, I mean, I just hope that none of the beef continues because
yeah,
it's like
it's over. It's
Kendrick, bro.
Kendrick watched him. Again, and I'll admit it too, as a Drake fan, Kendrick watched him. He watched him.
I mean, washed him, dried him, spilled something on
Yeah.
him. Oh shoot, I gotta wash
But
it again.
like
Put some
Tyler
bleach
said, he
on it.
said there are certain people you just don't mess with them. Just leave him alone. He's Kendrick's that guy in the back of the class who's quiet, but if you mess with him,
He
he's like,
just so
hey,
happens to be a fourth degree black
yeah,
belt and will
for he's
snap
like,
your neck.
hey, he's like, I'm good. Just I'm gonna let you chill, but just don't come for me. Just we're good. Like that's what we get. It's like don't come for me. I'm not gonna bring out. I don't want to bring out your skeletons. So just just keep it there.
No, no,
You
no.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
So
yeah, I definitely
I hope Drake just like you said, Ninth Wonder, 40, Boy Wonder, Conduct. I want that like, and I know he's probably gonna have some hit songs, but I'm like just a a rap album because I'm like, bro, you've given us so much R&B. I like his R&B, but you've given us so much R&B. Just give us like that rap. I mean,
I feel
and
you.
I hope I know he says like this is his most like this is the most important album of his career. That's a big statement. That's a big statement. So I'm like,
Who
yo,
Drake said that?
yeah, about this upcoming album, Iceman. He said and I'm like, yo, I mean, I think he knows that people are wanting to hear like him finally get back to that. So,
It's like, man, you ain't gotta say all that. It's just like shut
but
up and make a good record, bro.
I know because he's so dramatic. Yo, this is the most important. This is
Yeah.
the most important album.
I was just like, dog,
He's so
stop.
dramatic.
It's like, God,
That's
dog,
the
man.
that's the thing I do hate. It's like he's an actor now. He is an actor, so he's gonna dramatic. He's gonna make it dramatic. I'm like, bro, just drop the music. Just drop. Like. But
I
yeah.
mean, even acting, bro. What's the last thing he acted in?
Oh, I mean, it was the last. The only thing we knew was the grass. I'm just saying, like he has that like acting, that acting background where it's just like he makes things dramatic. Like, but
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah,
hasn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
But yeah, Joe, man, thank you so much for being on. This is an absolute pleasure.
Thank you
Gracious with
so
your
much.
time. I didn't, when you hit me up, I was like, oh, damn, I completely forgot about it because I was like, I know you're so busy, but I appreciate you still doing this, man. It was awesome.
Oh man, thank you. Appreciate your patience. Yeah, sorry,
No,
sorry it
you're
took so long.
good. Absolutely. Well, that wraps up for tonight. I'm your host, Wellington Burns. This has been Full Scope. See you later.